Hi there, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Welcome to the first video of 2023. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, come back and support me throughout this year. So, this week, been a little bit indulgent this week. I'm doing some deck text on some of the cards I'm building in real life. Obviously, some of my online versions will be better than the ones I'm building in real life because, as I've said many times before now, the cost of the cards on MTGO is a lot cheaper than they are in real life. So, I'm tending to go down that way a little bit more. But, some of them I have kept very close to my real life decks. And today is an old one. We're going back a while for this one. Going back to the time when, people complained about the fact that planeswalkers were becoming commanders. And, it wasn't great for the game having a planeswalker as your commander. But this is one I really enjoyed. And it's one I'm still building now in real life because it's really hard to actually try and get a hold of the commander for it, believe it or not. It's not one of the ones I picked up when it first came out. But the card, as you might have guessed, because there's only a few planeswalkers that could be commanders, is something you probably haven't seen me play colour-wise before. But anyway, it is Ob Nixilis, the Black Oath. 3 and 2 black for a 3 loyalty planeswalker. +2, everyone loses a life and you gain life equal to the amount of life lost that way. -2, you get 5/5 demon, you lose a couple of life. And then -8, you get an emblem with 1 and a black, sacrifice a creature, you gain X life, draw X cards, where X is the sacrifice creature's power. Now, -2, fine. -8, I'm not really interested in. The one I'm interested in is the +2 one. Let's see if we can make people lose life as quickly as possible and do it that way and just be a complete drain deck. So, how am I going to do that? Well, there are creatures in the deck, there are spells in the deck, and there are some things in the deck. But here we go from my version right now. So as you can see, 36 lands, 19 creatures, 44 other spells. Like I say, this is one I'm trying to build in real life. There's a few things missing from here that you would normally see in my decks, like Mana Crypt, Mana Vault. They're too expensive for me. I have managed to pick up a Jeweled Lotus on the cheap, well, cheapish, so I'm quite happy to have one of them now, so that's why that's in here. But anyway, talk about the actual lands as we usually do. Usual suspects are in. It's mono black deck. We've got enough swamps to do everything. We've got Urborg to turn everything else into a swamp. Terramorphic Expanse, Reliquary Tower to make sure we get the extra mana and Terramorphic Temple of the False Gods, one I meant to point out. Temple of the False Gods, we get the extra land, and then we've got Nykthos because we'll have a lot of devotion to black in play with a bit of luck. But we've also got Cabal Coffers and Cabal Stronghold because if we're playing a pure mono black deck, it makes perfect sense to have these 2 cards in. There's a couple of utility lands like Field of the Dead's in here, Fabled Marsh. I've snuck in a Marsh Flats just so I can go and find a swamp if I need to. But as we all know, with Urborg in play, you don't need to do that. You can just play them all out and have nice swamps come into play, so it's all good. The rest of the ramp, Mox Tanzlite, Jeweled Lotus. I mentioned Jeweled Lotus already. Sol Ring, Arcane Signet, Charcoal Diamond, Mindstone are all things I own. I'm including Jet Medallion in here because I actually own one of these from the original Tempest set, hence why it's in this deck. I've also checked in the Celestus to help a little bit with the card draw if we need it. And, the creature ramp, as I call it, is Solemn Simulacrum. So, we're back. That's kind of where we are with that. The rest of the deck is really about trying to gain life and take it from there. So we've included some things to try and speed out Ob Nixilis' thing. So we've got Dark Ritual in, we've got Village Rites in to draw the cards, Warlock class to help us out with that whole draining thing, Vamp Tutor I've picked up just to go and grab the card we might be missing, Elixir of Immortality to shuffle everything back in as things go pear-shape. Expedition maps here for a couple of reasons. It's either if we've got 5-7 different land types in play, it's going to go and get us our Field of our Dead if we haven't drawn it, so we can start making those zombies. Or if we really need to, we'll just go down and grab Urborg with it. 9 times out of 10 it'll probably be the Urborg grab that we do with the expedition maps. That's why it's here. And Elixir of Immortality, shuffle everything back in when it gets wrathed away, discarded, so on and so forth. Going further down the life loss thing, we've got Blood Artist in. I've chucked in Cabal Ritual as well, so like the more expensive version of Dark Ritual. But if we've got 7 or more cards in our graveyard, which we probably will have with this deck, having the 5 mana instead of 3 mana for 2 mana is pretty good as far as I'm concerned. So hence why it's here. A little bit of target removal and cast down, go for the throat, Infernal Grasp. I've also chucked in Sanctum of Stonefangs along with the 2 other black shrines, which we'll get to, just so we can do that life loss that way as well. Zulapult got throats in as well. Creatures die. We go and each opponent loses a life, and we gain a life, so that's lovely. And Swiftfoot Boots is in just to protect some of our creatures that we've got coming up shortly. That's the only reason that's here. Bastion Remembrance does the same thing again. Get our creatures killed off. Everyone loses one, we gain one. Retreat to Hagra. Nice little bit of landfall, life loss. And, you know, if we do need to do the +1 to get Death Touch and pump through something, seems like a good plan. I've chucked in the Victimize because hopefully we'll get some zombies out, and then we'll be able to go and sacrifice them to go and get some of our big hits back, which we're coming to. Although there is one big hit here, and Veto's in Thorn of the Duskgrove. If you're going to play this sort of deck, you've got to play this as well, along with these two favourite enchantments, which, yeah, I'm sure you've probably worked out what they are by now. Quite like Poison the Cup, a little bit of removal that I can foretell. Aria's in, First of the Lockway. Creatures enter the battlefield under our control. Everyone loses one, gains one. Lovely. Bontu's Monument to help cast the black creature spells we've got coming up. That and Jet Medallion can make some of the creatures really cheap. Creeping Dreads in, just so our opponents can discard some cards. And then, you know, each opponent who discarded a card that shares a type with the card you discarded loses 3 life. So, yeah, we'll be discarding some things. Hopefully we'll be discarding creatures and then getting them back shortly. Cryptghast is in to double up on our mana production. It's also, notice the extort thing on it. I've worked out that extort, you may pay, but I'm not quite sure why this works in Commander, but apparently that double mana symbol doesn't really count against Commander, so since it's a mono black card and it's in a mono black deck, it's fine according to MTGO. Might be a bug, not sure, but anyway. Dread Presence, drop a land. It's kind of like Landfall. This should have, you know, Swampfall. Let's call it Swampfall. If one deals 2 damage to any target, we gain some life. So that's quite nice. Or we can draw the cards. Goshen ties the next shrine that comes in. Helps us, you know, we get 3 shrines in play with this deck. Get them to blow up something at 3 toughness with us. There's the other shrine, Honden of Night's Reach. That's the one we do like discarding stuff all around. Thank you very much. Revenge of the Ravens. When we get attacked, everyone loses one. Like, well, the creature's controller loses one and we gain one. That's nice. Damnation to control the board a bit. Defiler of the Flesh, just to speed up the way in which we can pay for our black stuff to come into play. You know, paying 2 life for a black mana symbol to disappear is a little bit harsh, but we do gain quite a lot of life with this deck, so it should be fine. Drag to the Underworld, just for a bit of more instant speed removal that's based on our devotion. So, you know, I imagine our devotion is going to be pretty good with a bit of luck. Whip of Eberros, creatures we control have lifelinks. We can gain some life so we can mitigate some of the other life we'll be losing. And we can return creature cards from our graveyard if we need to, and just give them lifelink and get a bit of damage in. Grave Pact to really annoy people. The white bordered version, if you wonder why I've got a white bordered version in the MTGO world, is cheaper than any black bordered version for some reason. Don't ask me why, it just is. Same card, just white bordered from 8th edition. Go get that one if you haven't got one. Aetherflux Reservoir helps us keep our life going. Cosmos Alexa, get a bit of card draw, gain some life with a bit of luck. The other half of the nasty combos here, there's Exquisite Blood. We've got the other part coming up somewhere as well, if my memory serves correctly. There you go, Sanguine Blood, that's the one I'm looking for. Whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life, and whenever an opponent loses life, you gain that much life. I'm sure you all know the little infinite combo with it. But it's here, it's got to be here. It's one of those combos you got to have in a life gain deck. Magus of the Coffers gives us another version of Cabal Coffers, but I'm quite happy to have it in the deck. Yagamoth's Vial, offering, blow up the most annoying thing, return something we want. Fantastic. Archfiend of Depravity, at the beginning of each opponent's end step, that player chooses up to 2 creatures they control and sacrifices the rest. Yep. You're not going to have that many creatures in deck. Yeah, we've only got 19, so we'll probably be keeping the Archfiend around where everyone else is losing stuff. Blood Gift Demon, so we can, beginning of your upkeep, target player draws a card and loses life. That'll be us 90% of the time, unless we've got our opponent, one of our opponents down on 1, in which case, goodbye. Elvish Dreadlord, just for a little bit of fun. I quite like the Inkwall cards. And this is a nice little way of making sure we can do -3/-3. There aren't many elves being played at the moment, so I'm quite happy with this. Grey Merchant of Asphalt, yeah, no more to say about this. You all know what Grey Merchant does. The other version of Ob Nixilis is in as well for a little bit more creature control or card draw, depending on what we need. Palace Siege for the dragon's ability. Each opponent loses 2, you gain 2. Sanguine Blood I've mentioned. Varrock. I've brought Varrock in because I quite like it. At the beginning of your end step, if a permanent you control left the battlefield this turn, each opponent loses 3 life. Yeah, okay then. Right, Harvest of Souls. Not sure we need this. This could probably come out and be replaced with something a little bit more interesting. But I've put it in because we do have some non-token creatures that will be dying off, so we might as well try and draw a card from them when we can. Kukushko is probably the most expected card in the whole deck. Bolus's Citadel, so we can actually just keep casting stuff on top of our library if we need to. Hopefully we'll have enough life to do it without getting ourselves killed. Demon of the Dark Schemes as well is in, just another way of doing -2/-2. If we can get some energy, it's quite nice because then we can pay 4 energy, 2 mana per target creature from a graveyard. We go nick our opponent's creatures. Lovely, thank you. Aberro Overlord's in as well, just for the whole devotion bit. Get a load of harpies to block with, and at the beginning of your upkeep, each sacrifice a creature. So we'll just sacrifice the harpies until we run out of harpies. Blood Money gives us a nice little token ramp, well, treasure ramp. I know they come into play tapped, but hey, there's a whole load of treasures we wouldn't have had otherwise, and it's the board wipe, so can't complain about that. Likewise, that's why we've got Rise of the Dark Realms in here, just so we can go and nick all our opponent's creatures. Seems like a cunning plan to me. Black Sun Zenith again, just to make sure we can control the board a bit, and then Torment of Hellfire is a really good win condition with all the Cabal coffers, etc. that we have in the deck. And that's it. That is my little take on Ob Nixilis. Like I say, I'm building this in real life at the moment, hence why I'm being indulgent for this week's videos and doing decks I've either got built or I'm building myself. But let me know what I've missed. Hope you've hit the like button. I hope you've hit the subscribe button. Like I say, this is the first video of 2023, so I hope you had a great Christmas and a happy new year. And I'll hopefully see you throughout the year, either here on YouTube or over on my stream. Links are all down below. Go look them out, check them out, come and give me a follow. Take care. See you soon. Bye.